Most people already know what Cris Watta did. In 2018, he murdered his pregnant wife and his 2 daughters. The case shocked the world. But today, I want to focus on a different question. Not just what he did, but what kind of person he really was. Because when investigators, psychologists, and even people who knew him tried to understand him, they all described the same thing. Cris Watta did not look like a killer. People described Cris as quiet, calm, helpful. Neighbors liked him. Co-workers said he was polite and easy to work with. Friends often described him as the nice guy. And that became one of the most disturbing parts of the case, because nothing about him looked violent. Cris Watta grew up in North Carolina. From what is publicly known, his childhood did not look extremely abusive or chaotic. There are no confirmed reports of major violence in the home, but many people who later studied his behavior noticed something important. Cris seemed emotionally shut down from a young age. People close to him described him as quiet, passive, someone who avoided conflict. He rarely showed strong emotion, and according to people who knew the family, he often tried to keep peace instead of expressing what he really felt. This is where the story becomes psychologically interesting. Cris Watta had a personality type that many experts sometimes call the people pleaser. He avoided confrontation. He wanted people to like him, and instead of expressing anger directly, he often stayed silent. For years, that silence made him appear calm, patient, easygoing. But investigators later wondered, was he hiding emotions instead of dealing with them? By 2018, Cris Watta looked like the perfect husband online. Family photos, smiling videos, happy children. But behind the scenes, things were falling apart. The family had financial stress. They had filed for bankruptcy years earlier. His marriage was becoming unstable. And then Cris started an affair. This changed everything. Investigators believe the affair became a turning point. Friends later said Cris changed rapidly during this time. He lost weight, became emotionally distant, stopped showing affection toward his wife, started acting like a different person. Shanann herself reportedly told friends, "Something is wrong with him." And according to reports, Cris no longer wanted the life he had built. One of the most disturbing things investigators noticed was Cris Watta's emotional behavior after the murders. When his family was reported missing, he sounded strangely calm. His body language looked unnatural. Many viewers felt something was off. Even during interviews, he seemed more worried about appearing normal than showing real emotion. One investigator later suggested Cris appeared disconnected from normal emotional reactions. This is where the mask started breaking. During questioning, investigators slowly pressured him with details. At first, Cris denied everything, but the detectives noticed something important. His emotional reactions did not match the situation. He avoided direct emotional language. He tried to stay controlled. Then came the polygraph test, and after failing it, everything changed. An investigator reportedly told him, "Cris, nobody's going to believe you." The room became quiet. Cris lowered his head, and little by little, his story started collapsing. This is the question people still debate today. Was Cris Watta a psychopath, a narcissist, emotionally broken, or simply someone who spent years hiding who he really was? There is no official answer. Some experts described him as emotionally detached. Others believed he was a deeply passive person who completely collapsed under pressure. And that may be what makes the case so frightening, because Cris Watta did not look like a monster. He looked ordinary. Looking back, investigators and psychologists noticed patterns: emotional suppression, inability to communicate honestly, conflict avoidance, secret resentment, double life behavior. And many experts say these signs are common in some family annihilator cases. Maybe the scariest part of the Cris Watta case is that there was no obvious warning to the outside world. No violent criminal history, No public rage, no image of a dangerous man, just a quiet husband and father who one day destroyed his entire family. Cases like this force people to ask difficult questions. How much can someone hide behind a normal face? And how well do we really know the people around us? Subscribe for more true crime psychology and investigation analysis videos.